Hello people and welcome back to another video. It's your boy Sleepy Joe Gaming and we're going to jump into a guide of how to become a Mythic Plus tank. Now, a lot of people don't want to tank. It's tank and healer is like the burden of Mythic Plus of trying to get in. There's a lot of DPS out there you can fill with DPS. To the mindset of having better DPS within the group due to the system of it showing you the item levels and stuff. So you're always going to be waiting on a tank or healer. Now, first steps, you gotta have the mindset. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You're going to lose. You're going to brick keys. It is what it is. Not you personally, but the team, which you are a team. You're not just on your own out there. You're not just on your own out there, so you're going to fail a couple of keys. It is what it is. Like, if you've never jumped in the dungeons before, you're going to need the tactics, you're going to need, like, routes, and we're going to run it all through today. Just so you're prepared, and little tips and tricks of what I did to jump in. I literally just threw myself in the deep end. I didn't even know nothing about the class I was playing as well, because we're doing a challenge to 2.5k on every single class. So this time we was a Demon Hunter. Never played a Demon Hunter tank before, so for me it was a little bit more panicky because I didn't know any of the abilities or anything like that. But you've got to remember, you're the shot caller, you're the leader, you're the one they're following. So they basically follow you. Sometimes you'll get like people trying to sway you, but just stick to the routes you know. We're going to go through a couple of route options as well for all the raids and stuff. So you know, it's not going to be like you unless you want to pick your own route. But I picked all these routes, and then once you do it like once or twice or 3 times, you're going to know the route anyway. So we're going to go through that as well. You just got to remember, you're the shot caller. You've got to think a little bit of ahead of the pack. So if you've pulled a pack, you've got to, when the healths are like about 50%, you've got to make sure that you're entwined with the other pack, because that's how you're going to time keys, and that's how you're going to take a little bit of strain off yourself, because your time at the end is going to be amazing. So if you end up not pulling as much, you can recuperate that at the end of the mythic, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So let's get into it. So there's the second thing I want to touch on is understanding your role. So as a tank, you've got like 3 pillars that you need to work on. It's survivability, don't die. You've got to manage your cooldowns and stuff, defensives, and obviously self-healing if you do have them. Most, like the Demon Hunter does have self-healing in like Legion, stuff like that. So you know, it's great in a sense that like the healing of like a Demon Hunter and like Blood DK, their healing is immense. Like the Paladin, you have to like word of glory or something like that keeps you like recuperated and so forth. So when you jump on, if you don't know your character you're playing, you need to jump in, get comfortable with like defensives and stuff like that. And yeah, so second thing I want to touch on is like control. So as soon as you jump in, make sure you've got an ability. In Mythic Plus, you're going to be pulling a lot of like mobs, so you've got like an ability to, I'm going to show you on the Demon Hunter. So when you jump in, you've got like a jump to get you in. Then you've got like AoE abilities to like hold the mobs so you can jump again. So let's say there's a mob here and a mob here. So I'm going to jump and then jump again. You know what I mean? So you've got to know like your AoEs. Like other paladins have like the shield, the Avenger's shield and stuff. You've just got to know basic things before jumping in. But don't let this stop you. You know, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to lose aggro. As long as you pick the aggro up, it's going to be fine. In the higher keys, you may be struggling a bit more. But again, it's all about learning your basic abilities. Interrupts as well. But don't go too fast. Like you're going to be pushing with like tanks, healers, stuff like that. DPS and healers, not tanks. So you're going to be pushing, getting pushed by the DPS, like pulling stuff and stuff like that, which can be very annoying, and you've got to like recuperate. But don't let it phase you. Just carry on. Just carry on. It's not over until it's over, people. So, you know, you've got to learn to just keep your cool. You know, if they pull extra, it doesn't matter. Jump in, do the same thing you're going to, get the aggro. As long as you can survive the pull, you're fine. You know, you're gonna get this. You're gonna get like hunters pulling stuff or warriors jumping into stuff. You're gonna get it. So, active mitigation, keeping your uptime on your class mitigation abilities. Like demon spikes is a big one. So on this particular thing, I'm gonna show you. I have got a weak aura. So demon spike. Oh, I'm not in combat. Okay, hold on. Hold it. Right, okay. Right, so we're in combat now. Right, the spikes, the weak aura. So when that, it does normally go down, but because I'm not getting hit, it's not going down. There you go. So it starts going down. So when that hits bottom, I need to press it again because it gives me an extra buff. I didn't press it again because I'm in it. It did give me the buff though. It's filling out because of this paladin. But it gives me like a double buff, so obviously when I'm taking more damage. So you've got to learn these like little inserts. The spikes is a big one for demon hunters. Again, you're going to need it for your specific class. You know, different things like shield block, blood shield, anything like that. You're going to need these major abilities before you jump in, just to mitigate the damage and make it like less trivial to your healer. So yeah, kiting, another point, kiting. So use slows, roots, movements. Slows is a good one, especially as a demon hunter, because you can use like your sigils, like sigils of the chain. Pulls everything in around you. So if you haven't got like all the mobs stacked, that's a banging one to get in, and then you just drop an AoE or something like that. Right, so we're going to touch on learning each dungeon. Let's go. Learning each dungeon. Right, quick one. Keystone Mastery, yeah? This has all your routes. It has everything you need to know. It even has pug routes as well, like popular ones this week. If we click on Halls of Atonement, bash, straight in there, literally, you're straight in. Learn the routes before you go in, maybe like, but again, like I say before, you've got to know what you're doing after the route. You can get an add-on in-game with this. It's called like Mythic Tool Helper or something like that, where you can copy and paste this in if you haven't got like 1 or 2 screens. I normally have it on my left screen. But yeah, so again, learn the routes. Keystone Guru, I'm not even sponsored by them. You know, they're banging. Again, with like runs with you know, casters and stuff like that, you've got to bring them in. Otherwise, they're gonna pull stuff and stuff like that. So you've got to like keep intertwine with what adds you're pulling as well. Normally, if you've got good DPS, they'll do it for you on occasion. But if you're running pugs, it's going to be a little bit more of a problem. You've got to focus on adds that are obviously like dangerous pulls. Normally, the dangerous pulls are time warp. You're going to have to use a time warp. It's going to be a little bit difficult at the start, but once you start picking it up, you're going to be fine. It's going to be absolutely fine. So, people, you don't want to just dive straight in. So, I've only got 2.5k on this character. I am a 3k paladin at heart. But you don't want to be diving into, like, too high keys. So, I got very shocked at mine because I'm not even a high item level here. And I got very shocked at my tank. So, I was jumping into 2s and stuff. And I could do 2s. But then I tried to, like, go to 3s and then 4s. But then I jumped randomly into like an 8, and don't get me wrong, it was a little bit more difficult, but we absolutely managed it. It did get a little bit messy on like Gambit and stuff at the starts, but you know, with the tracking of like my cooldowns and stuff, it was pretty banging, to be fair. Right, so you know, I'm not going to keep you here long. We just wanted to like introduce you and give you like a few tips and tricks on tanking and stuff. I will probably put like some clips in of the tanking and the pulls and everything. A little bit of like strengths for tanks. So strengths and weaknesses for tanks for your pick. Blood Death Knights self-healing is absolutely incredible, and you can control the ads with grips, which is absolutely fantastic. They're weak to like magic bursts, so obviously you need to like tamper your cooldowns around like high magic interactions. Protective warrior, strong mitigation and block uptime, so you've got like shield block and ignore pain and stuff like that. But again, there's like, I think you've got like a repel magic, but again like heavy magic like mob situations, especially in eco, I would say. There's heavy magic damage in there, so you will be taking a little bit more damage. You just gotta again just be head smart, use your cooldowns when you can. Protection paladin, excellent group utility. Their shield is a great gatherer because it interrupts as well, and their off healing is insane with Word of Glory. The only problem is it can feel very squishy, a paladin, because their health does drop like immensely if they're not helping like self-heal and stuff, especially when the cooldowns are off. It can be pretty exhausting for the healer at times. Of what I've found is they're very mobile. You can jump to pack within a second, and the pull on your abilities as well to pull everything in is absolutely insane. It's just the problem is with the spike, so you will take a lot of damage if you miss a spike, and it's very like unforgiving. So you've got to prepare like with other cooldowns to, in case of that moment. So if all your cooldowns are off, you're gonna take big damage. It is what it is. You've just got to be a little bit head smart. Make sure you're hitting the spikes at a reasonable time and not just like panicking and throwing it out there, and so on and so forth. Guardian Druid, so huge health pool. Druids have always had a massive health pool and like sustain. Struggles I would say is like obviously grouping, and it can struggle with like active mitigations. Me personally, I don't really play a druid. I've played very rare, but again, is what I've seen and what I've played with in like the past. Brewmaster Monk again. I've barely touched Brewmaster Monk. Very, very, very touched on. And again, probably not at a higher level, so me personally, I'm not the one to speak. But again, smooth damage intake, you can stagger like getting aggro and stuff, but that again, it does require you staggering, you know, the abilities to obviously manage your aggro and everything like that. Again with a tank, it is what it is. So again, what to take from this is learn pull pacing, learn pulling them in, when to move to the next pack. That's going to save you time. That's going to help you in the long run. I would say record your runs, see where you've gone wrong, especially in the higher ups. If you're trying for like the 15s, 16s plus, it's good to plan the route accordingly again, and you know, see where you've gone wrong, see where you need the extra mitigations, the extra like buffs. I mean, you can always ping your team to get them on board and mark ads. There is other weak-auras out there that you can mark ads and stuff, so you don't always have to be like just pulling in silence. You can ping. You can, if a mob runs off and you need him in, ping it so they can work with you. A lot of people will react to pings, but it is what it is. Right, people. And that's it. That's all we got. That's all we got time for. So, if you did like the video, please drop a like, subscribe. We are doing the 2.5k challenge still over on YouTube. We've actually got a healer going at the minute, Mistweaver, which I've never played before, so it is pretty fun. People, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. I don't mind though. It's a good thing. Bringing all you lot some newbies to play with. You know what I mean? Right, I think hey, we're doing a cosplay stream. It was up, it was pinned, but I don't know where. I don't know where the pin's gone. I think every time we get ads, it stops the thread.
Center__bean says, we will teach the younglings the way of forcing themselves to conjure new ways to insult the ginger.
That's true. Have you been reading much, Sensu? Have you been reading much, mate? Ads are gonna come in 30 seconds, people. You'll have a little bit more ads.